Now, let's talk a little bit about the more specific challenges that caters for the B2C market. So once you've done with the discussion around content and commerce, which obviously is very important in B2C, when you're talking about customer experience, leveraging the brand, being the hub for everything that is related to the brand on your website and so on and so forth, then you can go down into the more nitty-gritty bits. So one of the really strong points around Ucommerce is our marketing foundation. So you can try and talk to your customers about, so how many different campaigns would you like to be running? So is it buy one, get one free? Is it a free shipping? Is it a discount voucher? All of these things is something that comes out of the box with Ucommerce. Also something like gift cards is something that comes out of the box. Actually, you can try and challenge your customers and saying, okay, let me hear, what types of 10 campaigns are you running during a year? And then challenge them to set that up in Marketing Foundation. And if it's not out of the box, then you can always rely on that Marketing Foundation, like everything else in Ucommerce, can be extended so that you can reach that specific target that your specific customers are looking for. So promotions is definitely a big part of catering to the B2C market, where you can visualize to them how you can work with the Marketing Foundation campaign module in order to create those customer experiences and start moving some products. Another thing that is also important from a B2C perspective, maybe not as much as in B2B, but it still has an issue, is of course pricing. So pricing in terms of B2C is more related to the fact that you need to work with rounded errors, rounded numbers for that matter. So you can't sell something that is $89.14. You'll need to have rounded numbers. And this again is something that we have in Ucommerce and that comes out of the box. But also something like saying, well, if you're working in different markets, is it the same cost in every market? Is, for instance, in Europe, is it the same price in all the EU countries, even though they have the same currency? And then remember that in Ucommerce, you can set up multiple different stores that has multiple different price points, so that each product can have a price point associated per store. So if they have some sort of challenge in that respect, then you'll always be able to help them by crafting that specific customer experience, that specific price engine that they would need in their solution. So another thing that we can count on in commerce is of course death and taxes. So we will need to work with the taxes, of course, in every way, shape or form. And that's something that of course is absolutely doable in Ucommerce. So you'll be able to work with different tax rates for different product categories, for different markets, for different segments. And you can also override Ucommerce's internal tax engine and then just reach out to someone like Avalara, for instance. So this would be a situation where you say, this is something that can be handled. You will need to set something up in order to make it work, but of course it is possible. Another thing that can be handled and is possible, but sometimes difficult, is personalization versus recommendation. So everyone wants to create that personalized individual customer experience, giving the full personalized experience. But that is difficult. It's difficult not so much in terms of the software that is here, but also in terms of actually creating the rules, actually having the staff on hand to create and maintain all these personalization rules for all of your products. So sometimes you will be able to talk about personalization, but more often than not, you will be working with recommendation instead of personalization. So we have a number of different recommendation engines in Ucommerce. You can create relations in between products in any way, shape or form you want to. We also have dynamic relations, which is your Amazon who, customers who purchased this before also have purchased that. So you can have that whole customer recommendation. And of course, we also have a ratings and review engine built into Ucommerce. So there's a lot of options for recommendation in Ucommerce, and in most of our CMSs you also have a personalization engine that you can leverage in a commerce context. But it's a very interesting discussion to have with most customers, because as it is with people, they want to do the best that they possibly can. So everyone wants to create that personalized experience. It is, however, a little bit difficult. So let's start off with recommendation and then take it from there. Then finally, we have that whole schism that is between online and brick and mortar. So in some scenarios, we see that the company is founded on a brick and mortar infrastructure, and these companies are, of course, very anxious that they're losing revenue to the online model. So this is typically an internal business discussion, but it is something that can be good to highlight in a customer scenario. Also, one of the facts is that Ucommerce can definitely work with the purchase online, pick up in store scenario. We have multiple customers doing that. And that is often one of the key factors in saying, okay, well, we can work with this, so that will be fine. So all told, Ucommerce has a lot of the functionalities that caters for those specific challenges in B2C. And it's just a question of pinpointing which ones are the most important for the customer, and then you can leverage it in the Ucommerce platform.